Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. This is Cheryl with CNC. Are we there yet? Welcome to Saba, the Dutch Caribbean, my home, a 5 square mile island in the Caribbean. We want to share with you today traveling through COVID times, and when there's winter storms going on, is not the best time to travel. So follow our adventures and see how long it took us to get from Florida to Saba during these trying times. Follow the adventures of CNC.
I'm taking my chances along with my dreams.
So today is day 3 of travel and we are still in the same spot. Day 1 was Saturday. We started off in Fort Lauderdale Airport with JetBlue. Our flight got delayed for 3 hours and then it was canceled due to a strike in St. Martin Airport, but it wasn't really a strike. Other planes were flying. So we got canceled. We couldn't get on a flight until Thursday, so we opted to drive down to Miami and buy tickets with American Airlines for yesterday, Sunday. We started off perfect. We got on the flight just on time and we sat in the plane for 2 hours. There was some type of maintenance issue. They took us off the flight. We went back to the terminal and then the storm came in the afternoon. The storm passed, the airport opened again, and then there was no crew for the plane. So our flight was canceled once again. This time it was the airline's fault. They put us up in a hotel into Miami. After 12 hours on the airport, we finally left. And now this morning we're back at Miami Airport so early that we watched the sun rising over Miami as we were taking the tram over to our gate. We're like the first ones at the gate. Say hi, honey.
Hi.
And we're, yeah, today is the day. Planning a trip to the Caribbean. We were planning a trip on December 28th. We had booked it about 6 months before. And when you're traveling, you need to check the COVID requirements. So we needed to have a PCR test before we could travel. And when we did our PCR test, we found out that COVID had knocked on our door and we had to cancel our plans. So we waited probably about 3 weeks before we could rebook because we needed a negative test, and because the Omicron virus had spread so much, it was difficult to get the test results in time. So finally we found a place where we could retest and get our tests expedited and the amount of time we needed for travel. And this ran us like $200 a person. So we rebooked our trip on a weekend, Saturday, January 15th. We were flying out of Fort Lauderdale. Our final destination was Saba, but we have to fly to St. Martin to get to Saba. Now, a flight to St. Martin from Miami is about 2.5 hours, Miami or Fort Lauderdale. A ticket will run you about $500, and then we take a small plane, Winair, from St. Martin to Saba. It's only a 12-minute flight, and it will run you about $200, but this is a bargain because you have the opportunity to land on the smallest commercial runway in the world. Saba's airport is only 1,300 feet long, so it's quite a little adventure. Traveling to either St. Martin or Saba now during COVID time, you need to complete a form called an EHAS form. It's an electronic health authorization system form. You can do this online and you need to get approval before you can check into your flight either in Fort Lauderdale or Miami. So this is tip number 1. You will also need one if you're going to Saba or any other connecting island, and each one has different requirements. So ours for St. Martin, we didn't need to have a test, a COVID test, but we did need to have our vaccinations and booster. We had to show our card. But for Sable, we needed a PCR, a negative PCR, within 72 hours, which didn't seem like a problem because it takes 1 day to fly from Florida and, get the connection flight to go to Sable. But because this trip was a little bit different turn of events and took us 5 days to get to Sable, we started on 1 day in Fort Lauderdale, 2 days into Miami, and then the fourth day when we got to St. Martin, we found out our PCR results had expired. So we had to retest in St. Martin again, get the results, get the EHAS form resubmitted before we could get approval for entry into Saba. And this is why it took 5 days. So you should always plan for the unexpected, because we had to overnight 2 nights into St. Martin, which we hadn't planned on to. It usually only takes a day. So this video today is to give you a heads up that you always need to plan for the unexpected, especially now during COVID time. You need to really prepare ahead and know how much it's going to cost you extra, because we spend $550 in COVID testing to get to where we're at now. But now we are at our final destination, Saba, and look how beautiful it is. So it's definitely worth all the stress and the headache. And if you're planning to travel, don't let this 5-day problem stop you from traveling. Go for it. So there is my little tiny island, Saba. Today is travel day 4. We made it to St. Martin last night, but now our PCR COVID test expired, so we have to retest and file the forms, and hopefully tomorrow we will be heading to my little Saba. But for now, we are enjoying St. Martin. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. No complaints. Super thankful.